Next on Broadway Profiles, it's Schmigadoon. Kristen Chenoweth is here to talk about the hilarious new musical comedy on Apple TV+. Plus, Strike a Pose. Billy Porter is here to talk about the final season of Pose on FX and a whole lot more. And Fighting the Good Fight. We'll talk with one of the stars of the Paramount Plus legal drama, Sarah Steele. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles, presented by Broadway.com. Thanks for joining us once again for Broadway Profiles. I'm Tamsen Fadal. Schmigadoon, it's the new musical comedy streaming on Apple TV+.
Schmigadoon?
Welcome to our little town,
where friends are all you meet.
Must be something they do for tourists.
Hey, everyone!
Hey there, Pete!
Woo! Can we go now?
Already?
What?
We can't leave. It's like magic. We're in an actual musical.
Please, God, no.
It's a hilarious love letter to Broadway. Schmigadoon features a cast of Broadway royalty, and it stars two veterans of sketch comedy, SNL's Cecily Strong and Keegan-Michael Key. Paul Wontorek is here with the story.
Schmigadoon!
So, what was it like in the middle of a pandemic to go to Canada with Broadway's best and make a big musical? I mean, that's basically what you did. You went there and you got your Broadway fix, didn't you?
Yes, Water in a Desert. The offer came at a really good time. We've all been very sad, but I had a big loss. And I was in Palm Springs and Sonnenfeld called me and said, do you want to go to Canada? Now, I knew about this from a year before. They had done a reading and I was unavailable to do that. And I said, I can't go to Canada. I'm too sad. I'm not going to go during the pandemic. He said, there's an 18-page song and I'm going to do it in one take. I said, okay, when's the flight? So that's how he got me. We got there. We were promptly given cones like we'd been spayed or neutered. And I was happy to wear the cone. No problem. We wore masks. We got COVID tested every other day. I was like, go for it. Go for it. Like, I didn't care.
I love this town. Y'all know, my great-great-granddaddy founded Schmigadoon when he came upon this beautiful tract of land and said, they'll never find us here.
People are saying, and I love this, that they think I'm playing against type, and of course I am, but usually I'm a villain a lot, and you know this, but I usually look like this. So it was fun for Sonnenfeld to say what I said. I want a mole. I want the Mildred Pierce wing. I want the Joker lips. Personally speaking, just in playing this character, I loved being able to go there.
Okay, I'll do it. It's time to vote. And vote for Layton. She is the only one to save our town from Satan.
Save us now!
It was such a challenge. It was the last day. It was my last day was Tribulation, and it was on Thanksgiving. And all I did during quarantine was learn that song. I'm going to do it live from now on, because if people can do, pardon me, is anybody there? Because if anybody's there, I'd like to thank you all for coming to the wedding. Then I can do Tribulation.
You know what I love about this show and about what's happening right now in entertainment is that there's so many opportunities for people with Broadway talent. Now you're able to co-star with so many people that you see on Broadway first, right?
All my buddies. You got to do Schmigadoon with people who can do it and do it quickly. But I'm talking about the casting. I'm talking about Alan Cumming. I'm talking about Ariana DeBose. I'm talking about Jane. And never mind the heart of our show, which is Cecily and Keegan.
Right.
Otherwise, the wackiness wouldn't have been able to exist. But they were so wise, and Barry Sonnenfeld was so wise in his casting. I'm not saying me, I'm saying the entire deal. We did this during a pandemic, and you know how much rehearsal was required, and we did not get that much rehearsal, Paul.
Look, I know that you're proud of creating Glinda and Wicked. I know you're proud of your Tony Award. I know you're proud of your Emmy, everything you've done. But I feel like what probably makes you most proud is just how tied you are to Broadway. I mean, you are the Broadway cheerleader. And whenever people see you, they think of Broadway, they think of our industry, they think of the amazing personalities that come from our industry. That must mean a lot to this Oklahoma girl, doesn't it?
Like, you're making me cry right now. I miss Broadway so much. I mean, you know, I work in a lot of different areas, Paul, but the relationship between an audience and an artist or a character is the best relationship I maybe that's for therapy, but that's the best relationship that I have, whether I'm on stage or whether I'm in the audience. I mean, when it opens back up, my boyfriend and I are gonna go to see everything. I need it, like water in a desert. And the reason I love Schmigadoon is because there's a character in there, just like my brother, Mark Chenoweth, Keegan's character hates musicals. And to see him start to change and love it, because he can't help himself. I just love that aspect of the show too.
Safety is priority number one when Broadway returns. We can now tell you that all 41 theaters will require proof of vaccination for all audience members. Same goes for the actors, the backstage crew, and theater staff. Masks will also be required for the audience, except when eating and drinking. Something cool. American Dance Machine for the 21st Century just released its latest film. This Tain't Nobody's Business If I Do, from Bullets Over Broadway, the musical. The film stars 22 of Broadway's best singers and dancers, with choreography by Susan Stroman. ADM 21 released the film, now in memory of Nick Cordero, who starred in the musical on Broadway. We love Billy Porter. He's a Tony Award winner, an Emmy winner, and a red carpet fashion icon. And we just recently got our first glimpse of him as Fab G in the new retelling of Cinderella. And of course, he's the star of Pose, which just wrapped its third and final season.
I mean, it's like what I always knew was that this is my calling. This kind of work is my purpose. Dare I say my ministry? It's a ministry. It will change the trajectory of the world from here to long after I'm gone. That's what I'm interested in as an artist.
Dresses by Ella. Life outside this basement starts right now.
If it's a million to wait, I'm gonna be that one.
It's a Cinderella for the modern age. It's female empowerment. It has tons of diversity. You know, it really embraces the fact that magic actually has no gender. It's magic. It's not about gender. That's who the fairy godmother, that's how I say it, fairy godmother, AKA the Fab G, is.
I used to be married to a mime.
Carmen Moyo.
I hate games.
Paramount Plus just announced that season 6 of the Emmy-nominated legal drama The Good Fight is happening. The show features a number of great Broadway alums, including Sarah Steele. We caught up with Sarah in the Theater District to talk about the show and a whole lot more.
Sarah Steele is one of the many Broadway talents featured in the latest season of The Good Fight. I met up with her in the Theater District to talk about that, how much she misses theater, and so much more.
Talk to me about some of the gems that have been dropped working with Audra McDonald, Christine Baranski, these iconic women.
Yeah, I mean, it is such an honor. I really feel like I am pinching myself. And to get to just talk to them. I had this one, I mean, honestly, any moment that I get to like talk to Audra about her life and experience, I am like, I can't get enough.
You're a sponge.
But yes, I'm just obsessed with her. I mean, I'm obsessed with Christine too, of course, but Audra is sort of more new. And so I feel like I'm still in like my first blush of being in love with Audra, whereas like Christine I've been in love with for years. But I did have this amazing moment sitting around listening to Christine and Margot Martindale talk about the Me Too movement and just talk about how different it was, how different things were from when they were coming up, and it was fascinating. I wish that I could have like recorded every moment of it, but and they're also just hilarious women.
What's it like right now to be standing by the Helen Hayes after everything that we just went through?
Yeah, I mean, God, I had really the time of my life here doing The Humans, of course, and it feels like a kind of a rebirth to even be back in this area, because I never thought that I would take such a break from work and doing the theater, especially like in my early 30s when I don't have kids or anything. Like we're in such a unique time in that we've gotten to just like step back from our life for a year and then re-enter it. So I actually feel like I'm so excited for theater to come back, and I'm so excited to be on stage again. But I feel like when I do it, I will be doing it with an entirely new like worldview almost. And to get to take up just a total break from work, I think really allowed these other areas of my life to become more full and more meaningful and whole. I really feel like when I come back to the theater, I will be armed with a lot more, I don't know, like strength and just wholeness in myself.
The most nominated show of the season returns to Broadway October 21st. And now the Tony and Grammy Award-winning composer of Jagged Little Pill is out with brand new music. Tom Kitt's debut studio album, Reflect, features performances by some of Broadway's biggest stars. We caught up with Tom outside the Broadhurst Theater.
I'm very, very excited and proud of this debut album, Reflect, for Sony Masterworks. Came out of a period of a real sort of dark and down period. The beginning of the pandemic, I just was depressed. A really bad place creatively, not really feeling the motivation and spark to do anything. And my wife Rita and I had a conversation, and she said, this is the time that you really need to be creating. You need to be making art that can reach people, that can speak to this experience. And it sparked in me an idea to create a song cycle, a group of songs about this moment, but I knew that my experience is just one. It had to be collaborative. I had to reach out to fellow artists in the community to hear about their experiences and their thoughts and feelings. So I wanted the album to be about a number of different things, and I'm happy to say that the response was wonderful. And so now Reflect is a collection of songs with fellow artists, some of which I have also created and recorded, even with my children. I don't know if I can really pin it down to one musical feeling or style or energy. It's really, I went with what my collaborators sent me. So what Lauren Patton sent me versus Adrian Warren, Michael McElroy, Mandy Gonzalez, they all were coming from different places, and I just wanted to write music that was going to rise up to meet what they wanted to express. So the song with Elizabeth Stanley lives in a world that was really satisfying for me to write, a kind of electronic mood, trance-like piece of music. And then what I wrote with Mandy Gonzalez, it's kind of an anthemic, emotional, powerful, musical feeling. And then Javier Munoz and I wrote something that felt like it had real edgy energy and was coming from a place of heightened anger and frustration. So really, as a composer, you're just supposed to ride the energy of the lyric and the song's narrative. And that's what I try to do.
There's still a lot more to talk about on this edition of Broadway Profiles. Coming up, she's one of the original cast members of Hamilton. Carly Betiol is here to talk about why she's just gotta dance. I'm Tamsin Fidel, and this is Broadway Profiles. When some mysterious space wreckage falls from the sky, a super-secret international agency has to figure out what it is and what it's capable of. Well, that's the premise of Debris, now on NBC. It's sort of like an X-Files meets Men in Black, combined with some pretty intense existential questions. We talked to Tony winner Norbert Leo Butz about his role in the new sci-fi mystery series.
You're a CIA operative. Is this now the kind? Is this the kind of stuff you go in for now? You're a CIA operative.
I'd never been offered anything like this. I'm not a sci-fi fan. And as the season goes on, there were some really exciting twists and surprising moments to play. I've never been drawn to science fiction except for, you know, the obvious, you know, Star Wars, Ray Bradbury. Sure. But this feels almost more, this is science fiction, but it's also, the story has a real emotional component, like the debris, the pieces of the spacecraft. It actually affects people's emotional psyches as well as their sort of body chemistry. I do like espionage. I've always liked thrillers. And so this kind of race between nations to kind of harness this technology first was really exciting to me.
Carly Bettiol has appeared on 3 different Broadway stages over the past 6 years, and right now on Disney+. You can see her share the spotlight in Hamilton. She talks about breaking into the business and the struggles and joys of being a Broadway star in this week's installment of Gotta Dance.
I've done Hamilton, Bandstand, and the Cher Show. All 3 have been so different. It's nice to be versatile in that way and be able to do all different types of choreography and work in different eras and things like that. So it's been amazing. I was a pageant girl. And so I started pageants, and the directors of this one pageant that I did was like, you know, you got to get her into musical theater, into that world, said to my parents. And so my mother got me an agent in New York City when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and we started taking the Amtrak train down to New York City all the time, and I would audition for things. I don't even remember what the first show was that I saw, but I just knew I wanted to be there. My first Broadway show was Hamilton. I was lucky enough to book the lab workshop that they did for 4 weeks back in 2014. And so I was with it for that, and then we did Off-Broadway at the Public Theater, and then I made my Broadway debut in 2015 with that show. I really got lucky with that. I'm so grateful that I was a part of that. It's an honor to be a part of the community. I mean, let's be honest, there's a small percentage of people that can make it in this business, and I am so grateful to be a part of that. Along with that comes a lot of hard work, long hours. I mean, we work most nights, all weekends, most holidays. We don't get to travel and go on vacations often. We don't get to go and visit our families often. We miss weddings, we miss baby showers, we miss all that. It can be really tough, but I mean, there's a rewarding aspect as well. When we walk out of the stage door at night after a show, and there are people that travel literally from all over the world that are standing there with their playbills asking for signatures, and they're just like, oh, thank you so much, you made my night. That was so much fun, I had such a good time. To take people out of their everyday life for a second and bring them so much joy, that's the most rewarding part for me.
Still ahead, finding your healthiest healthy, a new online wellness community from one of the former stars of Chicago. I'm Tamsin Fidel, and we'll be right back. How do you find your healthiest healthy? Samantha Harris is a former host of Dancing with the Stars. She appeared on Broadway as Roxy Hart in Chicago, and now, after beating cancer, she is a certified health coach and trainer. And she just launched a new online wellness community. Check this out.
What inspired you to share your story and speak out rather than keep it private?
Here I was with an opportunity to share because I had walked around with a lump that I was told was not cancer. And it took me really sitting quietly with myself to listen to the whispers of my inner voice that were really trying to scream at me to say, please get checked out by someone who does this every day. So I finally found my way to a surgical oncologist, never for a second thinking I had cancer, but wanting to make sure that this lump I found after their mammogram was nothing. So the reason that I decided to come out and be really open and incredibly transparent about my diagnosis was the idea that there could be another woman walking around with a lump she was told was nothing.
So talk a little bit about your book and what people can learn from it.
I wrote Your Healthiest Healthy because there wasn't one comprehensive action plan out there, and that's why I wrote the book. And then from that, because it ignited in me such a passion to share with so many others, I'm certified as a health coach, a holistic health coach. I've been certified as a trainer. And so I launched a subscription-based membership community called Your Healthiest Healthy Community. Every week I have live health coaching on a different topic, really to give people all the tools to take control and be more energized and vibrant than ever.
Well, I mean, you've done so many things. You are on Broadway too. Do you think you want to get back to Broadway at any point?
Oh gosh, I mean, my days as Roxy Hart were like just a dream come true. Like, I grew up in a family around who sang. Musicals were our jam. My mom played the piano and sang harmony, and that was really my childhood. I knew every Broadway show tune possible. And so when I had the opportunity to be able to take on that role, that iconic role, it was amazing. And I'll tell you, it was exhausting and the most fulfilling time of my life.
And we'll be right back. And that's going to do it for us. Until next time, I'm Tamsin Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles presented by Broadway.com.